How's it going? It is Mythos, and I've recently been to see Most Haunted on their live show tour that they're currently on. Now, I seen they were quite near to me, so I was thinking, should I go? I just couldn't imagine what they could actually do for a live show. So I was thinking, I'm not too sure. And then my nana said, let's go. She'll pay for it, so I was like, alright, go on then. So it was a date night with my nana. Now, she is a regular theatre goer, so her reaction will say a lot about this show. So to start off, we booked it quite late and struggled to even get a seat. We didn't get great ones, but that's all good. My point though is that look at how popular they still are. It was sold out, and for everyone outside of the UK, these guys were huge. When some faking in the show got exposed years ago, it was national news. But here we are all these years later and they're still super popular. At random points in the show, people were just screaming out loud, "Love you, Stuart!" They absolutely loved these guys. Later on in the show, when they chose people to go up on stage, you should have seen how starstruck people were. So just say on YouTube here, no matter how many people show off that Most Haunted have faked paranormal activity over the years, all of these die-hard fans just totally outweigh any of that. And I guess Most Haunted just don't care because of it. So the start of the show was them having a bit of a laugh with the audience and talking about when Yvette gets scared, she might do a little wee in her pants and stuff like that. And that reminded me of a comment I seen before going there, which said this was awful, swearing and sexual innuendos throughout which were unnecessary. Yvette constantly saying how she was scared a bit of wee came out. So inappropriate as she said it about 4 times. I'll come back to the rest later. So yeah, I was thinking, hang on a minute, this sounds like that comment that I read. And at the time of reading it, I thought, oh, whatever, someone's just having a moan, shut up. But actually watching the show, I totally do agree with that. At first, I was a bit like, haha, funny. But the constant talking about Yvette and Carl's sex life was just cringe and just too much.
Tight squeeze.
To be fair, it's not that much of a tight fucking squeeze.
Not just Carl and Yvette though, we got a lovely story about Stuart. And as a one-off story, it might have been a bit haha funny, but after all of this adding up, the constant sexual innuendos and talking about the sex life, it was just a bit like, come on guys.
It was one of those classic most haunted moments where we were all around a table and the atmosphere was building. Stuart says, well, I don't know if it's paranormal or not, but I've got a raging hard on.
And about the swearing, I'm not usually bothered. I mean, we all do it, but it was just coming off as forced. And again, after a little bit, it was just like, come on mate, chill out.
Please don't take this one, but fuck off. Yeah, Darren is a huge pussy. Yeah, don't fucking milk it, mate. No, hang on, no, fuck you. We're in a fucking great new place. Let's not fuck with him, mate. Get your dick out and piss on it.
Like I said, I'd not usually be bothered, but it was just a bit too much throughout the whole thing. But at the start, they did make a point of asking the audience, are you okay with it? And no one was bothered, so I guess, whatever.
Do you mind if I swear? No! To be honest, I do swear a lot, so if my swearing does offend anyone, please let me know and I'll tell you to fuck off myself.
So as I mentioned, my nana paid for this. I think if I paid for it myself and went by myself, I'd have probably walked out in the first half. There were 3 times where I nearly asked my nana, hey, do you want to just get out of here? And she did ask in the break if I want to go. But I'm telling you, the tickets weren't cheap, so we sat it out. But honestly, it was terrible. The first half, they just showed us clips from their show that I think were actually just off their YouTube channel. And it was mostly compilations of them screaming. You couldn't see anything happening at all, just things getting thrown and just constant screaming. It was brutal. Then after the clips, they would talk about that certain place that they had shown and then moved on to the next clip doing the same thing. I was literally thinking, is this it? But at the start, Yvette mentioned after the break that we're going to do
a seance.
Alright, okay, cool. I'll stay. Well, that was just as bad. They chose some members of the audience and these people were going crazy to be picked. Mostly, I'd say, Facebook mums or soccer mums just dying to be picked to go on stage. Jumping up in the air and shaking their boobs to get attention.
Oh, I say, yes. Yes, you wiggle your boobies around.
So they had a little table Ouija board with letters on top, and honestly, nothing really happened with that. Because these people weren't all primed with information about any hauntings or anything like that in their minds to make them unconsciously move the planchette. So boom, no information, nothing really happened. Besides it just going around and around in circles. Meanwhile, they had a few other audience members doing an investigation with Carl. There were taps and knocks, of course, on response to every single thing the audience members were asking, even finishing off songs. Then when they all came up on stage, wow, oh my god, there were knocks all over the stage and they were very loud, which brings me back to that comment that I seen before going. The person carried on saying, I've done about 14 ghost hunts before and never has a spirit knocked back and whistled back immediately upon starting a vigil, and certainly one has never knocked in time to Twinkle Twinkle, sung by Yvette. An absolute farce. You guys are fake and give ghost hunting a bad name. I'm actually angry. We started off saying we should do a most haunted ghost hunt sometime, and we left saying we will never trust anything they have to their name. I mean, wow. I am sorry to that person that it's took this long to figure that out. It was the pressure to perform for a theatre jam-packed with people who've paid good money to go and see them there. If nothing happened, well, they'd all be quite disappointed, right? It's just the same as the paranormal field on YouTube. The real channels who are out there trying to investigate and nothing really happens, they don't get the views that the fakers get, who fake paranormal activity and over exaggerate everything. People tend to gravitate towards that because it's exciting. So the same here. They had to have some kind of paranormal activity. Now, I noticed while all of these knocks were happening, there was one person missing out of everyone. When the audience members were back up on the stage, and like I said, the knocks were happening all around and very loud, they were all amazed. But then once it was time to move on to the next part of the show, the ghosts kindly stopped knocking and Stuart appeared back on the stage. It was freaking funny, and I honestly don't think anyone noticed it. I'm telling you, the whole theatre bought it. They were oohing and ahhing at everything. The crazy thing is, throughout the show, Carl and Yvette actually had some real good theories and points about the paranormal, where I was like, damn, do you know what? What they said there was really good. So it's almost as if like they are legit, but all of the years of BS and overacting has totally just gotten in the way of all of that. Carl actually had a good take on demons, which I'm going to go into in another video and look at some of the footage that he was talking about. But one thing that actually rubbed me the wrong way a little bit was the way Yvette was promising people about life after death and coming across as if she knew exactly what happens.
So when you have a traumatic death, or you die of a disease or an illness, when you go over, that's all gone. It's all gone. There's no pain, there's nothing. It's just absolute, there's no words to describe it. It is blissful, but more than that. I'm promising you now, we go on, we live on. There is life after death, and you will see your loved ones and your pets again. I promise you.
We've seen this before here on YouTube. People saying, oh, but they're giving out a nice message. Kind of, who cares if they're faking? Yeah, but the message has got to these people through lies. This was kind of the same. Yvette telling you that she'd seen this and seen that, talking about the demon at 30 East Drive and that episode there that people have already shown to have been fake, and she was using that as evidence to tell people about, yes, there is life after death. Is that kind of like giving people false hope based on lies? So overall, I've got mixed feelings about this show. If you've seen my most haunted video where I said I love the TV show, I still do. Or at least the earlier ones. After a while, it just gets a bit too insane. This live show had some terrible parts, like I said, but also a few good and funny parts in there. So I'd say, hey, if they're around your way, it it might be just worth a watch just because they're there, but don't expect a show that's going to blow your mind because of how amazing it is. And be aware that Stuart's in the back knocking with a broom. But hey, if you want to go and get a signed copy of one of Yvette's books, you can pick up one of those there. I got this one about the Pendle Witches because I'm wanting to go there soon, so I thought it would be interesting to hear what she has to say about this all. So guys, make sure you stick around for a few more videos talking about some of the talking points from the live show, where I'm going to look at some of the most haunted episodes I've never seen before and show you how the paranormal activity was done. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.